slogans out there and could tell this guy's a waste of time. Ron DeSantis, I'm sure, was irritated too, but not in a way of this guy's not serious. It struck me that Ron DeSantis was looking at Vivek going, I was supposed to be that guy. How am I not that guy?
He thought he was going to take all the arrows last night, and he
kind of disappeared.
Did anybody? I'm not sure if anybody really went after him. Not that I can recall.
No, he seemed kind of off topic. His talking points, he's focused so heavily on woke that I don't know that he can give a 20-second answer without invoking COVID lockdowns or corporate media or Fauci. Well, no one's talking about Fauci right now, DeSantis. We're not doing that.
I thought there was one incredible moment with Brett Baer, who was one of the moderators last night, the Fox News moderator. And DeSantis was getting annoyed with the Trump questions, with what turned into the January 6th thing. And they really didn't spend a ton of time on it. In fact, it took them an hour before they even got to it. And while Chris Christie was, or no, I'm sorry, we'll get to that one later. But DeSantis was, basically, why are we talking about this? Let's talk about things that matter. Why are we talking about Trump? And Brett Baer said this.
Let me just say, Governor DeSantis, we spent an hour talking about policy. Former President Trump is beating you by 30, 40 points in many polls. So it is a factor in the GOP primary.
And then he moved on to the next person. It was like, let me take this shot at you real quick before we move on to the next guy and let's hear somebody else speak.
I mean, you've got to be a little bit of a performer or at least be smooth. And DeSantis is not smooth. While Ramaswamy is overly scripted, DeSantis is awkward.
That is Amy Marks-Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. We'll have more on the debate later in the show. We're going to talk to Steve Shankman, though, in a moment. The Evolution Festival is coming up this weekend. He's got a lot of information on that. That is next. Oh, actually, it's not. We got Major Garrett next. I'm like a half hour ahead of myself. Major Garrett next on KMOX. I'm stupid.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
It is 10:29. The time check brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
Over 90,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 314-645-2000.
Mizzou football is returning to St. Louis. Be there when the Tigers take on Memphis in the Mizzou to the Lou Classic this September at the Dome, featuring pep rallies, tailgates, and fan activities. It's more than just a game in St. Louis. Show your Tiger pride and purchase your tickets today. The Mizzou to the Lou Classic, Saturday, September 23rd at the Dome at America's Center. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
At 10:30, it's sunny and 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. Applications for unemployment benefits fell again last week. Mark Hamrick at Bankrate.com's break down the numbers and what it means.
When it comes to unemployment claims, no drama is good since they're a proxy for fresh layoffs. The Labor Department says seasonally adjusted initial claims declined last week by 10,000 to 230,000, marking 9 straight weeks when they've been at or below 250,000.
A nuclear plant in Japan destroyed by an earthquake and tsunami in 2011 started releasing water exposed to radiation into the Pacific Ocean. The release follows months of debate and strong opposition from fishing interests who say it's bad for business. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer visited the site.
These tanks are almost full of water, more than 1 million tons of it. And TEPCO says the only solution is to start getting rid of it.
By piping it into the sea next to the plant. For Haruo Ono, who's been fishing this ocean all his life, that is an outrage. It's not a garbage dump, he tells me. They say it's safe, but the consequences could be 50 years down the road.
Cardinals beat the Pirates 6-4. The Cardinal Report is sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Swim next summer, alohapoolsusa.com. We've got a crash in the right lane of 70 East at Shreve. 70 East at Shreve. There's a crash there. We've also got some road work on 270 South at Halls Ferry. The exit is closed there. Partly sunny this afternoon, hot and humid, high near 103. For tonight, the low 81. For tomorrow, hot and humid with the high of 103. Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. It's 90 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
This is Matt Spiegel of 670 The Score in Chicago, and my podcast, The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is all about the art and craft of play-by-play. Catch up on episodes with Joe Davis, Joe Buck, and many more. Then something crazy happened along the way. I did a weekend of Cubs-Cardinals on the radio. So now conversations are enriched with feedback and advice from Jason Benetti, Boog Shambi, and others to come. The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Broadcasting from the Underlying Tree Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. The Genesis signature event is going on now at Genesis of St. Charles. Genesis is the new name in luxury, and you need to experience it for yourself, because if you're in the market for any luxury vehicle, you are doing yourself a favor by checking out Genesis before you buy anything else. And right now, the luxury SUV, the GV70, has up to $1,500 in rebates and savings, in addition to other special offers you may qualify for. It is Genesis of St. Charles at genesisofstcharles.com.
One of the things that surprises people after they retire is how much they still owe in taxes. The good news is Steve All of the All Financial Group, he's here to show you some strategies that can lower your tax obligations both now and in the future. Call today, 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. BWA and All Financial Group, LLC are separate companies.
Rick Springfield's I Want My 80s Tour. Starring Rick Springfield, The Hooters, Paul Young, and Tommy Tuto. This Tuesday night at St. Louis Music Park. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. I Want My 80s Tour. Brought to you by Beach Bar Rum.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning, and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show on Cardinals Radio, KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Last night, the GOP debate, the first one happened in Milwaukee. We've been talking about it so far. And that's not the only thing that's going on in Washington. My God, I don't know if it's possible to have more stuff happening at once than we have going now. So to talk about it with us, we go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. And joining us is our regular 10:30 on Thursday guest, Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. His book, The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie, and he hosts the Takeout podcast. Major, are you exhausted or what?
It's been a busy August. That has certainly been true. And yes, I'm more exhausted than I typically am this time of year. It's been a long, hot summer. The summer of indictments, the summer of sort of legal, political trauma, and a fair amount of turmoil for the country and certainly for the Republican Party, some of which was visible on that debate stage last night. Some of it was not visible because, for whatever reason, Republicans still don't want to deal with the underlying reality, with the exception of Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie. There's still this sense that, well, if we don't talk about it or don't engage with it or don't acknowledge it, maybe it'll go away, or maybe it won't be so bad, or maybe it's still kind of an abstraction. It's bad, it's not an abstraction, and it's here. It's not going away. But until they want to reconcile themselves to that, debates are going to look pretty much like they did last night, absent the front runner and with a lot of crosstalk.
If they, let's say, all the Republican candidates on the stage reconcile themselves to what we're dealing with Trump and his indictments, does that just guarantee that all of them are going to lose to Trump anyway because Trump has a unique hold on his most loyal voters?
That's certainly the analysis which flows through the decisions. People in politics make decisions based on analyzing the data and analyzing sentiments that they encounter either face-to-face or they glean from sifting polling data. And person to person, you can certainly encounter a lot of loyal Trump supporters who don't want to hear anything about this. And if you bring it up, remind them of it, they will punish you for it because they don't want to be traumatized by it. There's a sense they have, I encountered this last week in Iowa, that Trump has contributed to his problems. And they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to be reminded of it. They don't want to be re-traumatized by all the things that are on the negative side of Trump. They only want to think about and hold on to the positive sides of Trump. And they feel reflexively, those in the Trump Republican base, that if you bring up the bad, you are not only are you ignoring the good, you are amplifying the Democratic Party, whom they regard not as opposition figures anymore, but as enemies. So you're amplifying the enemies, you're downplaying the good, and you're hurting someone who's fighting for his own survival. So it's a complex set of psychological commitments. But to your point, Amy, if you go down this road, you're going to risk short-term political blowback. But my answer to that is, okay, do you think Trump is the best nominee for the Republican Party? Do you think he's the best foot forward to win in 2024? A lot of Republicans are uncertain about that, or they've already made up their mind. No, he probably isn't. So then what do? If you don't want to reconcile these things, don't want to take the short-term blowback to make the longer-term argument, no, look, we have to go through this. We have to go through this process of internal pain to get to a better place. If no one's prepared to do that, then things just drift along. And this, politically, has been the summer of drift for everyone not named Trump. No one has done anything, with the exception of Vivek Ramaswamy, to rise in the polls. Everyone else has either treaded water or sank a little bit, DeSantis, and Trump has grown in political strength. So if you do nothing, you know what's going to happen. If you do something, you are at least beginning a conversation that might lead to a better result. But that's just a theoretical observation of some dumb reporter named Major Garrett. I'm not in the arena. They're in the arena, and they're making decisions. We'll see how it works out.
You know, I heard Edward Teller one time in an interview say that he felt really stupid, which is, you know, he's one of the most brilliant scientists we've ever had. So, Major, I think you're okay. It's okay that you've acknowledged how dumb you are, because we're all dumb too.
Oh my gosh.
All humans are stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, no one knows anything about what we're all heading to any more than we knew what we were going to be feeling and experiencing watching the summer of indictments. All of this is completely new terrain. We've never had in this country a collision of the legal system and the political system at the highest stakes that we're going to have this fall. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it feels like. We don't know how we're going to absorb it. And anyone who tells you they do is kidding you and themselves.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect at the debate, how much Trump would be addressed or not be addressed. And really, until the moderators specifically asked about Trump, Nikki Haley was the only one who said the word Trump.
Yeah. So there was this moment, and I've been fortunate enough in my career to co-moderate a presidential debate once and be a questioner twice. So 3 times on that big stage. And I know what the debate prep is like. I know how thick the binder of potential questions is, and I understand what the production lineup of a debate looks like. What are you going to start with and why? What are you going to move to? What's the place where you transition to other issues? And clearly the Fox team decided, all right, we have an obligation to bring up Trump. But if we bring it up first, the audience may flee. The Republican audience may just leave and not watch. So we'll kind of bury it in an obligatory way, sort of in the center of the debate flow. And it wasn't as if Martha McCallum and Brett Baer were apologetic about it. But they're like, look, stop booing. We got to get through this. We got to get through this, you know? And then they moved on. It's like, all right, we're going to do the obligatory Trump legal thing, and then we're going to not do anything more with it. And if candidates had either precipitated a conversation about Trump before that, I don't think they would have blocked that, but it didn't happen. So they felt that they had to check that box and then move on. And that, I think, minimized in this larger context just how big an issue that is, because as Brett Baer accurately said, the elephant who's not here. And it's not just an elephant symbolically for the Republican Party. It's a very large presence, not just the politics of it, but the law of it.
I always think this when I hear criticisms of debates after the fact, that this moderator didn't do a very good job of reining people.
It's a thankless job. It's a completely thankless job.
It's not. How is it even possible when you have people who are on a stage who consider themselves bigger than life? What in the hell can a moderator do short of walking up on stage and putting a hand over somebody's mouth? You can't make people stop talking.
Right. You can't make people stop talking. And look, one of the iron rules of a crowded debate stage is ignore the rules, because if you follow the rules, you won't get as much time. So even if you're involved in crosstalk, even if you're just being shouted at and you're shouting back and forth, that's better than waiting your turn. Everyone knows this. Look at the people who waited their turn last night. Doug Burgum, Asa Hutchinson, Tim Scott. They disappeared. They got their allocated shreds of minutes, and that's it. Mike Pence, interestingly, I thought, a very rules-based person, a very buttoned-down, I'm going to follow procedures in every respect.
He
violated the rules. He violated the rules. He's like, the heck with it. And as a moderator, trying to control that is an impossible task, because if you control it too much, you're interfering. If you don't control it, from the perception of the myriad theater critics who will lacerate you over the smallest transgression, you are powerless and weak and spineless. It's impossible to win that battle. And it's a very hard task. And all you can do, having been up on that stage 3 times, is ask the best question, elicit the best answer, and move on as smartly as you can, understanding in large measure you are not in control. And especially with Republicans, even with Fox, pushing back or looking dismissive of a media figure is a net advantage. So you're even disadvantaged in that sense. But you got to do it. It's a necessary part of it. It's just a very hard thing. And you got a million critics who will always pretend that they can do it better, knowing positively nothing about how hard it is to sit in that chair and do that job.
Yesterday, Major, we saw a number of associates of former and current associates of former President Trump appear, get their mug shots taken. I think it's still very striking, even though, you know, it happened yesterday, so it hasn't been that long. But I can't get over the thought that if somebody came to me in October of 2001 and said, this guy who is the mayor of New York City, who is supremely popular right now, is 20 years from now going to end up with a mugshot. I would have had a difficult time believing that. Now we've seen it, and we know former President Trump will show up today and presumably have his mugshot taken. This is just a very odd time.
Incredibly odd, and I couldn't agree more. There was a time when Rudolph Giuliani was the most important mayor in America, the most important, and had, if not rescued a great American city, put a great American city on much more solid footing and resurrected its image not only internally but externally. I don't think history can ever take that away from Rudolph Giuliani. But he has descended into a place of incoherence and deception and malignancy in relation to our Constitution and our democracy. Remember, I didn't go before a court in Pennsylvania and say, I'm not bringing before you a fraud case. Rudy Giuliani said that, okay, in court, which conflicted entirely with what he did in every other political arena he was in Pennsylvania. That's way back in 2020 after the November election. He has withdrawn all of his accusations in a civil suit against the two election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss in Fulton County. Rescinded officially all of the allegations against them as not only factually unsubstantiated, but he knew they were defamatory. And because if he didn't withdraw them, he would be subject to civil penalties, has withdrawn them. That's not me, that's him. And when he goes out before the reporters yesterday and said, I had a First Amendment right to question the election, he's correct about that. This is not a First Amendment case. There's nothing about the First Amendment that allows you to subvert state laws, illegally acquire election equipment, tamper with it, and seek to disenfranchise millions of voters. That's not what the First Amendment protects. And so we are where we are. The one thing I would say about the mugshots, during lockdown, we all learned about ring lights. Apparently not in Fulton County. Those are bad lighting.
Yeah, it's very bad lighting. Some of them are washed out a bit.
Okay, honestly,
a ring
that
light's
was
not that expensive either.
Listen, I just saw some videos yesterday and had some bad lighting and good lighting, and I've been victim of some bad lighting. So in that, I kind of get it. I kind of feel for him.
Greta Garbo, one of the great stars of the studio era, once said that the secret to a happy life is good lighting.
I believe it. I love Greta Garbo. It's so true.
Gosh,
I've been
you
depressed since I saw the bad lighting video yesterday. Okay, Major, before we let you go, who's on the takeout this week?
All right. Remember 2 weeks ago when we were making fun of celebrating August 10th?
I would never.
Yeah. So you didn't realize this, but I was setting you guys up.
No.
So today is my birthday. I'm 61 today.
Oh,
Major, happy birthday.
You didn't even ask for the day off?
Oh, my gosh. Happy birthday.
Amy celebrates a birthday month.
Well, I turned 40, so we had to really
Yes.
milk that one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Major Garrett, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Thank
Major.
you. So this week, we taped this episode several months ago in New York. So Judd Apatow, a great comedian, great comedic writer, producer, documentarian, has done a two-part documentary on, to my mind, the most important comedian of my life, George Carlin. I regard him as my philosopher king, in addition to being a great comedian. And Wayne Federman is the producer of the two-part HBO Max documentary on George Carlin. So a couple of months ago, we were in New York. Wayne Federman was in New York doing some stand-up. So we did an hour with Wayne Federman about George Carlin, his life, this documentary, and everything. So this week's episode of The Takeout is my birthday present to me.
Awesome.
I love it. Hey,
well, you deserve it.
And I got to let Major know, Alderwoman in St. Louis of the 10th Ward, Alderwoman Shamim Clark Hubbard says, happy birthday to Major.
She's so nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So very, very nice.
Yeah. So enjoy the rest of your day and go ahead and take the rest of the day off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really going to happen.
Thank you,
Talk
Major.
next week, gang.
Thanks,
Talk to you.
Major.
All right.
Major Garrett. It's his birthday today. Send him a card. Chief
Well-
Washington course. Well, just in spirit, send
In
him
spirit,
a card.
yeah.
He probably doesn't
Maybe a
want
tweet.
mail.
You could tweet at him.
Major Garrett.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Major. Author of The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie, and the Takeout podcast, which you can hear on the Odyssey app, where you can also hear us, Chris and Amy, on KMOX.
Michael's Baths, michaelsbaths.com. Mike and his daughter, they run the company. They're family owned and operated, locally owned and operated, as they have been since the beginning. And they like to say that they built their company on quality, not quantity. We talk about how they keep the overhead low. They have 6 employees. They also work directly with manufacturers so that their quotes, when they look at your bathroom, can be 30 to 50% less than their competitors. They really, truly do have the best prices with the best products. And it shows. It shows in their reviews. They have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. That's a huge deal to get that type of review, to get the top quality review from customers who've worked with them saying, yes, they are everything they said and more. And in fact, Some of the biggest compliments that Michael gets, they're from professional installers. That's the type of quality that they do. If your shower is getting too hard to clean, or maybe you need a shower or tub conversion, a walk-in shower or a walk-in tub, they can help you with it all. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Hi, I'm Maria Kina, inviting you to join us for our annual KMOX blood drive in memory of Brett Bloom. Brett fought cancer in 2019. We asked you then to donate blood, and the response, it was overwhelming. We lost Brett, but there are so many people today, right now, who need your help. The KMOX blood drive in memory of Brett Bloom, Thursday, August 24th from 2 to 7 p.m. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or redcrossblood.org and use the sponsor code KMOX.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
This planet is so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail, and Good Feet was with me all the way. Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for Good Feet?
Get ready for your summer adventures. Come to the Good Feet store today. Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive west of I-270 in the Plaza with Subway or in Shiloh, Illinois across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. You deserve comfort in your life. Come in for your free test walk today.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L 544-3600.
Fairwinds River's Edge is an award-winning independent living community located in the heart of St. Charles. Voted best independent living by U.S. News and World Report, Fairwinds River's Edge provides the life-enhancing independent living services you need to support your best self. We believe that joy isn't just for the young, it's for the young at heart. With services and amenities handling life's necessities, you can dance and enjoy live entertainment at happy hour, participate in an aqua fitness class in a warm water pool, or go out to Crown Candy for lunch. Say goodbye to home maintenance, cooking and cleaning, and hello to the fun. In our active community for adults 55 plus, you'll cultivate connections and make meaningful memories in a community that feels like home. Join the fun at Fairwinds River's Edge on Thursday, August 24th at our 50s sock hop with live entertainment by Backstreet Cruisers. Call 636-754-2317 to RSVP.
Hey guys, Glover here, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. Call now, 314-720-8081.
Do you worry about running out of money in retirement? Discover how you can make your money last as long as you do with Your Retirement Professors. Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
The New York Times calls BritBox the best of British telly. Stream brilliant series you can only find on BritBox. Unlock acclaimed favorites like Vera and Stonehouse, plus the upcoming original drama Archie, the story of Cary Grant. Start a free trial at BritBox.com.
Amy Marks scores.
This is my show, my microphone.
On KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? No way.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy on the show?
Ron, do you feel sick?
No, I feel fine.
Okay, good. Because August 24th is the sickest day of the year in America.
Well, I can understand it with that heat.
I guess, but they said maybe people are worn out from the summer and they're going back to school, but more people call in sick today than any other day of the year. Number 2 would be February 13th, which is suspiciously close to Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Okay. I would think that, I mean, you can't really measure the date because the Super Bowl date changes every year.
Right.
But I would figure that the Monday after the Super Bowl is probably the real big one.
But today, sickest day of the year.
Interesting. Hey, did you know Drew Barrymore has a stalker?
Well, wouldn't she have a lot of stalkers?
No, but she has one, and this is actually kind of scary.
Oh.
A couple of days ago, she's on a stage with another performer, and they're having a Q&A for the crowd, and this guy walks up and just starts saying, hey, I need to speak to you before you, as long as you're in New York, I need to talk to you. And they walked them off the stage. It was a scary moment. He shows up at her house. He went to the neighborhood she lives in Long Island and going back and forth and ringing on doorbells. She finally, he gets arrested because he showed up at her house.
Wow.
She wasn't there, but man, that's really
scary.
frightening.
Really scary.
Man. All right, we are going to talk to Steve Shankman, president of Contemporary Productions. The Evolution Festival happens this weekend. This is KMOX.
Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce new floor plans to Sutton Farms in Wentzville. The Parkside series of homes offers ranch and 2-story plans starting from the mid-300s. Select from hundreds of pre-designed options to personalize your home or choose full customization if there is something specific you're dreaming about. Loved for its spacious home sites, Sutton Farms offers a private rural setting with the added bonus of nearby shopping and dining on Wentzville Parkway. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, so why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Dierbergs.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. It's always great to work with Spring Green, no matter the season. And this fall, aerating and overseeding your lawn is the best time to thicken up the yard. Take care of some of those trouble spots by reaching out to Spring Green, spring-green.com. Top dressing your lawn with compost is the single best thing you can do to your lawn every year. Shrub pruning, cutting back your perennials from the fall, installing a retaining wall can help with curb appeal as well. Spring-green.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Too many businesses sell for far less than they should. Clayton Capital Partners is one of the nation's top independent investment banking firms for the middle market, representing clients nationwide in multiple industries. Our process is designed to uncover and make the most of your company's competitive advantage. Create a sales strategy that highlights your company's value to potential buyers and identify outrageous buyers who will pay a premium for your business. All owners will exit their business. Make sure it is on your terms. ClaytonCapitalPartners.com.
Spark St. Louis is the newest collaborative co-working office space located in the PwC Pennant Building at Ballpark Village. Spark supports local entrepreneurs and corporate professionals and features over 80 private offices, day pass options, monthly networking events, conference room, and special event amenities, while offering an innovative approach to city life where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within the neighborhood at Ballpark Village. Schedule your tour today by visiting Spark St. Louis online at spark-stl.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's a sunny sky, 92 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. 8 GOP hopefuls spent much of the night talking over each other in the first Republican debate of the 2024 election race. GOP frontrunner, former President Trump, skipped the debate. CBS's John Dickerson reports it actually worked in his favor.
It was a good night for Donald Trump.
for a couple of reasons. One, there was no challenger that emerged. The field is still roughly sorting itself out. Every day that it sorts itself out, that's better for him because he's the front runner by such a wide margin in the polls and by everything our reporting tells us. And that doesn't just mean that nobody laid a glove on him. It also means that nobody really had a moment where a voter in Iowa could say, you know, I love Trump, but boy, I was really interested in this.
University City residents are trying to get their flood control under control.
The University Heights Association Flood Task Force held a group discussion Wednesday night, brainstorming about how they can get the Metropolitan Sewer District to clean out the River Des Peres. Task Force Chair Don Fitz says of the ideas batted around,
people have all sorts of different ideas. You know, should we call them up? Should we write another letter? Should we go to our city council? Should we go to our state legislature? Should we have a lawsuit?
He said MSD suggested they might be open to cleaning the river channel, but won't admit it's their responsibility.
An idea that a lot of people have is that if they admitted their responsibility, if they admitted they should have been cleaning it up all along, that would make them subject to lawsuits.
The River Des Peres flooded July 26th last year, apparently because the portion that goes through a drain pipe was clogged up. The discussion group will present ideas for action to the task force in the coming weeks. Sean Michael Lyle, KMOX News.
MSD maintains debris was not the issue in flooding last year, instead that the tunnel simply couldn't take in the historic amounts of rainfall. 3 astronauts and a cosmonaut are hours away from their launch to the International Space Station for a 6-month stay.
The 7th operational crew to launch aboard a SpaceX Dragon includes 2 veterans and 2 space rookies. Spacecraft Commander Jasmine Mogbelli is one of the first-timers fulfilling a dream.
I know from 6th grade, definitely from that point on, I always knew I wanted to be an astronaut.
Russian cosmonaut Konstantin Borisov is also making his first flight. Dragon pilot Andreas Morgensen from Denmark and Japan's Dr. Satoshi Furukawa are flying for the second time. Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
The iconic bridge to Alton will be getting a new look.
A proposal to light the bridge passed the Alton City Council unanimously last night. Decorating the Clark Bridge with LED lighting will cost about $1 million. That cost will be covered by funds in hand from Alton Travel and Tourism, ARPA funding, an Ameren incentive program, and an agreement with Alton Township. One of the big proponents of the lighting plan was Great Rivers and Routes Tourism, which says it'll be a night sky addition for residents and tourists alike and enhance security on the bridge. That lighting should be complete by early spring. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk, CBS's Jim Crisula reports on a move that could help ease air travel problems.
The FAA says it has met its goal of hiring 1,500 air traffic controllers for the year, even as staffing challenges continue to affect air travel. Federal officials hope to hire another 1,800 controllers next year. The FAA is holding runway safety meetings at 90 airports after a troubling increase in close call incidents.
The Dow from Stifel down 182 points to 34,290.
Remaining very hot here for the rest of today. Sunny to partly cloudy skies and humid. High temperature near the record high of 103 set back in 1947. Very warm for tonight, low of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's sunny at 92 in Florissant and St. Peter's and downtown at the Arch, and the feels like is 102. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, brought to you by Midwest Wing Fest, September 1st and 2nd in Fairview Heights, Illinois. Tickets on sale now at KMOX.com.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. The Evolution Festival happens in Forest Park this weekend, and we are excited about it. It should cool down a little bit over the weekend.
The weather's going to break Friday night.
But it's still going to be like in the, high 80s or what is it?
The weather is going to be great.
The weather's going to be great on Saturday and even better on Sunday.
Mhm.
The Quiver River Electric guest line is open. Well, actually, it's not. It's occupied now by Steve Shankman, the president of Contemporary Productions. This is a musical genius. He has, he's prolific. You know Steve, and he is with us now on KMOX. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. Well, I just talked to Dave Murray, your weatherman, and he told us the weather's going to break on Friday, and we may see a little bit of rain overnight, but Saturday is going to be great. And you're right, Sunday's the pick day. So 2 great days of music, bourbon, and barbecue out here in Forest Park.
I'm so excited. And Sunday is, of course, my favorite Brandi Carlile. And
yes.
oh my gosh, I love her. And it's funny because I'm in Forest Park like twice a day. And I've been watching the Evolution Festival slowly go up. You know, you see the whether it's the tents that are going up or the barriers or getting ready for the food tents and the stages and the scaffolding. It's all very exciting. It's fun to see such a big festival right here in Forest Park.
Well, that's the reason we did it. I mean, we have no major festival in St. Louis, and seeing that gap. I mean, after promoting concerts for 50 years. Joe Littbag, my partner, who was in the festival business and still is, and I thought that St. Louis needs this. I mean, it's our time, it's our town, and it's our evolution. I mean, we're a major music venue stop in the country. I mean, I think we built Riverport in 1991, was able to do that, and then the pageant with Joe Edwards in 2000, and the factory with Mike Steinberg. So this is a music town, and it's time that we put our own festival on. And we were able to put together a great mix of talent. We really want everybody to feel inclusive and diverse. The talent's diverse. It's first year, 18 acts. I mean, it's hard to pick everybody, but I think what we got is great.
Yeah, and it's a great venue to have it. Forest Park is massive. There's plenty of space for it. And it really does feel like there should be more bigger events that take place there. Something like this is perfect.
Well, I mean, we're 500 acres bigger than Central Park. We were named the #1 park in the nation. Forest Park Forever is receiving $1 a ticket for everybody that comes to the festival from us. And it's just Langenberg Field. It's all grass. We're not on pavement. We're not on asphalt. And it's lined with trees. So right behind the tennis court, north side of the park, the Metrolink is the best way to get here. It's a 5-minute walk from the Bolivar Station, right past the History Museum. And our front door is on the north east side, right next to the tennis court. And it's so easy to get here. And the fact that we're not opening doors till 2, we're encouraging people. As you may remember, I was chairman of the St. Louis Zoo for many years. We want people to go to the zoo in the morning. The Art Museum has a new hip-hop exhibit, which we helped open on Saturday, 50 years of hip-hop. And we have the Sugar Hill Gang. How do you get more hip-hop than that? And then you have the History Museum. So we want people to come to town, from out of town, people in town, to enjoy the park. You're right, the weather breaks. Saturday, Sunday will be great. And just have a good time at the festival. It's all about the food, the drinks, the camaraderie, the art. We have all the things that are necessary to put on a very safe festival. We have 3 medic stations because of people that have any sort of a situation. A lot of security, a lot of box office lines. And by the way, the box office opens today at 3 o'clock, from 3 to 6. So if you haven't bought your tickets, don't wait till Saturday, Sunday. Get them today, 12 to 6 tomorrow, and show days 10 to 10. And remember, we're cashless. So as many venues have done in St. Louis and around the country, bring your credit cards or your Venmo card on your phone, Apple Card, and just get ready. Brandi Carlile, Black Keys, Black Crowes, Mish Langer. I mean, think about it. We have everything from country to hip-hop to pop. And you're right. I feel the same as you, Amy. I can't wait to meet and see Brandi Carlile. It's been a long time. I think the last time she played was the Fox Theater, and now she's headlining a crowd for thousands and thousands of people in Forest Park on Sunday night.
I was there at that Fox Theater show of hers. She was so good, and it was kind of raining after the show, and she left behind the Fox Theater in a black SUV. And the crowd was kind of out front, I think, thinking that she would be by a tour bus, but she actually left in an SUV. And I was standing on the street corner, and I see her in the front seat. And I start blowing kisses because I freaked out. I became a fangirl, and she blew me a kiss back. And that was my Brandi Carlile moment.
Sunday night, you get another chance. You'll be right up front, and you can just blow that same kiss. Here's the thing. The artists wouldn't have come to St. Louis this summer if we wouldn't have put on this festival. I mean, venues is everything. And to lack a venue for an outside big concert, I'm not talking about a stadium show. A festival is food, enjoyment, laid-back atmosphere. We have lots of space. And again, Langenberg Field right behind the tennis courts on the north side of the park. Plenty of ways into the park. Some streets will be blocked. It's all on evolutionfestival.com. That's where you purchase your tickets. We still have about 200 parking spots left on the Muni upper lot. I say get on there and buy those spots because that's the closest you're going to get the parking to the festival, and just come out and enjoy yourselves. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is exciting to me, Chris and Amy, is when I sat and talked back to John Carney's dad about Super Jam 76, which was my first stadium show. And then all the times I talked to Charlie Brennan about all the other concerts, the U2s and Rolling Stones at Busch Stadium. But this, by far, today is the most exciting week of my life.
Steve, are there multiple stages or one stage in this festival?
So on the east side, facing west, is the Lindenwood University. They were the first sponsor to sign up to promote their university. So the Lindenwood stage. So when we start on Saturday, for example, Punk Lady Apple will be on there. Modern English will be on the Visit Mo stage, which is the bigger stage, which is on the west side facing east. So those stages will play not at the same time, but 5 minutes different. So you can move side to side. And then at night, we shut down a Lindenwood stage after Sugar Hill Gang on Saturday, and we go then to the Visit Missouri stage with Black Crows and Black Keys. But I mean, Nikki Lane's on the Lindenwood stage, Sugar Hill Gang. So please come early. Doors at 2. No reason to rush to the site. Go somewhere else in the park. Go to the Loop. Go to Blueberry Hill and have lunch, and then come see us. This is about get here in plenty of time for the shows to start. But there's a lot of parking. Any weekend in the park, there's 30,000 people. And the Muni just closed, so all that area is open.
Is the food going to be on Langenberg Fields as well, or is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
everything's on Langenberg Field.
Everything is there. That's awesome. And as you mentioned, if you're looking at the tennis center, if you came from the visitor center, you're looking at the tennis center, it's just to the right of that. It's behind the tennis center. Such an easy walk from the Metrolink at the History Museum. You couldn't have picked a better spot because so many people who have, even if they're not super familiar with the park, they're familiar with where the visitor center is and where the tennis courts are. And it's all right there.
And it's best to come in from Kings Highway, Lindo, Forest Park Expressway, because on the west side of our compound, we've had to close that street as people are coming into right past the golf course. Hey, listen, there's no rush to get here. When you get here, it's going to be a mellow afternoon and beautiful nights. We were here last night with all that heat. As soon as the shade came, it was delightful outside. So dress light, you know, you're coming to a festival. And again, you can bring a bottle of sealed water. We have 3 water stations that we're providing. Plenty of food, barbecue, a lot of minority-owned barbecue stands. Please, like Gobble Stop, patronize them. It's a lot of effort for these small stores to open up their restaurants here. And again, all the regular kind of fare food. Steve Ewing is here with hot dogs, but lots of the bourbon tent's going to be something to see. And we have great bourbon tasting with Fred Minnick. He's the world's authority on bourbon. He has different times that he's scheduled. It'll be on our website that he's going to do demonstrations and tastings. And we also have, I was just with James Boatwright this morning, another local St. Louis barbecue master, Phil the Grill. And my big thanks goes out to Sugar Fire, who's curating all of our barbecue stations and doing a lot of our food. Mike Johnson and Heather, the people over at the Boathouse have been great. There are some VIP tickets still remaining. I think the platinum tickets are gone, but there's gold tickets remaining. It gets you a parking spot. It gets you into the VIP area, and a little bit more expensive, but GA is still $169. We chose not to raise the price at the door, but come today, again, from 3 to 6. Our box office is right next to the tennis court on the east side of the tennis court across, as you said, Amy, the visitor center, 12 to 6 tomorrow. You're better to come here before Saturday and Sunday and not wait in line. Anyway, you can tell I'm excited. An old promoter for me. I mean, it took an Axl Rose ride on July the 2nd of 91 to really get excited. By the way, if you see Bill Bailey, he's coming to town, tell him that Steve Shankman says, "Hello, my man, and I love your music." I mean, getting to the ring, mother, you know what? I love it all. And when he does Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die, I was looking straight at him when he was playing that, and he nodded his head. Little did I know he wanted to jump out and see the audience later on during that show. I think that was during the Rocket. But I mean, St. Louis is on the map, but you got to support the festival. Corporate St. Louis, Schnucks, AT&T, Stiefel, all of our friends came out, Morgan Stanley, and supported the festival with finances so we could put on bigger talent. Talent is very expensive these days. And I'm just so, and the people that are working here. I mean, Brandy Johnson just came off Taylor Swift's tour as the concert representative for her whole entire tour, and she's back in her trailer. She's a St. Louis gal, and she's handling all production for all the stages. And a lot of contemporary folks are here too, and my partner Joe Litvack. So hats off to everybody, especially the media. This is my third interview with you guys. Thanks for calling. It's great information. People want to know the facts, but all the FAQs are on the website. Again, for tickets, our information, evolutionfestival.com. And if you can't get it there, I'm sure KMOX got information for you.
Are you going to have a golf cart? You get to ride around a golf cart, right?
I have a golf cart.
Yeah.
I have an air conditioned RV.
Okay.
But I'm walking 12,000 steps a day.
Okay.
So I got my Gatorade, my water, and my wife and my 10-year-old twins will be down here for Brandy Carlisle as well on Sunday. Sunday night, you may need a sweater. I mean, Dave Murray's calling for 60s, and he'll be on site tomorrow morning. He'll be doing his live. I think he's doing the live weather from here tomorrow.
Man, if you have a sweater around your shoulders and you're in a golf cart driving around like a
that's
boss,
what I want.
you're
I want
gonna
to ride.
look.
I just want to ride in the
cool.
golf cart.
Yeah, with a sweater around your shoulders, you're gonna look like the coolest guy.
I'll bring a sweater.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I see you coming in, I'll put you on the cart and ride you right up to the media tent.
That's what I want.
Baby.
Great.
Okay. Hey, thank you all.
Thank you so much.
You're so nice to call us. Thank you so much.
That is Steve Shankman, president of Contemporary Productions. Again, Evolution Festival, Saturday and Sunday. evolutionfestival.com for tickets and information,
And
set times and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I do want to let you know, like Saturday, the Black Keys, the Black Crows.
Modern English?
Modern English. Brittany Howard from Alabama.
Sugar
Shakes.
Hill Gang?
Yep. And then
What?
on Sunday, yes, Brandy Carlisle, Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals. Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Ice Cube's going to be there.
Yeah.
The Nude Party. I did listen to a little bit to them just because I like the name, The Nude Party.
What'd you think?
They're kind of folksy.
That's your kind of thing. You love that folksy stuff.
You know, I do. I like a lot of different types of music. I like to mix it up, go from Ice Cube to the Nude Party.
You don't like Ice Cube.
You are an idiot.
That's Amy Marks-Kors, who's not very nice to me. I'm Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Head on over to St. Charles Nissan. They've always got great deals at St. Charles Nissan, which is really nice, knowing that you can go to stcharlesnissan.com, look at a car online, and the price you see online is the price you pay. That's a relief. You don't have to worry about gimmicky sales or high pressure sales. Hey, this is a family owned dealership, one of the last truly family owned dealerships in the area. And so many of the sales staff, the managers, the employees, they've been there for 10, 20 years or longer. And right now, over at St. Charles Nissan, you can enjoy no payments until November. That's right, no payments until November. It's just one of the reasons, the great prices, the friendly staff, the great inventory. It's just one of the reasons why St. Charles Nissan is the 2023 Global Award of Excellence winner. They are one of the top 50 dealers in the United States. It's a prestigious award, and St. Charles Nissan secured it with their service, their prices, their inventory, the whole experience. They are part of the St. Charles Automotive Group, located a quarter mile east of Mid Rivers Mall Drive, just off Highway 70, or stcharlesnissan.com.
Everything is gone. American Red Cross disaster responders are in Hawaii helping those impacted by the tragic wildfires. There's nothing left. You too can help. To make a gift to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief, visit redcross.org, call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text Red Cross to 90999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. When you're injured and in your darkest hour, Onder Law is not only on your side, we're by your side.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-900,000 to learn more.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The check engine light is on in Washington, but politicians keep driving the cars if nothing is happening. There it is again. It's Social Security. A new government report says the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run out by the year 2035. If that happens, it would cause all beneficiaries to take more than a 20% cut to their benefits. What does that mean for you? When should you start taking benefits? And how can you get every dollar of Social Security you're entitled to? The team at Heisey Advisory Group has been helping families optimize their Social Security benefits for over 17 years, and they can do the same for you. Give them a call, 314-328-4400 to schedule your visit with one of the advisors at Heisey Advisory Group. Again, that's 314-328-4400.
Our firm is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory products and services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, and SEC-registered investment advisors. Security products and services made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. AEFS and Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC are not affiliated.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. Our goal to bring awareness to local organizations and share how they're bettering our community. As we get into the back-to-school routine, we invited Kelly Garrett, Director of KIPP St. Louis, to share how the Knowledge is Power charter school prepares graduate success. Listen to Building Community with Busey Bank today and every day at KMOX.com/community banking.
I thought this was a commercial.
What is
I was
this?
like, what is this song? Lombard. Who the hell is Lombard? Speed Fun? Should I know who this is?
That's
that
what it says. I've never heard it either.
I like you thought it was a commercial.
I was like, oh, what car are you selling now? and then he's like, you talk now. Whoa. It's us, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, it
It's
did
Chris and
feel-
Amy on KMOX. That was fun. Hey, we want you to follow us on Twitter, and there's a reason for it. At Chris Amy KMOX. Well, there's
Yeah.
multiple reasons for it, because we could tell you about all the cool stuff we do all the time and all the guests we have coming up and
Mm-hmm.
reasons to listen. There are thousands of reasons to listen to the show.
As they say in the marketing world, too many reasons to name.
Yeah, name one. They're just
There's
too
too
many.
many.
Too many. I
Can
can't
you
even
name
think.
one or two? Nope, there are too many.
Nope, too many. Have no idea. What? Well, who's listening? Lots of people.
I know.
Lots
they
of
always
people.
that is there are too many to name. Name one.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
Too
there-
many to
Too
name.
many to name. I don't want to do that. All right. So Amy and I are having a swell time on this show. And it's going to culminate in KMOX Day on Wednesday of next week. It's the 30th. August 30th
Yep.
is KMOX Day at the Cardinals game.
Yep.
At Busch Stadium. And one of us gets to throw out the first pitch.
Yes, we do.
Only one of us. It's either Amy or me. We already have a Twitter poll up right now at Chris Amy KMOX. You'll have to maybe scroll down a few posts. You can find it and you can vote which one of us gets to throw out the
Yeah.
first pitch. So Amy insists that her arm is good and she can throw farther than anybody in the room, which is just not
Well,
true.
okay, first of all, it's just you and Dave.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
can outthrow both of you.
You can't outthrow anybody here.
I have a good arm.
You can't outthrow Tyler.
Listen.
You certainly couldn't outthrow Wheeler. You couldn't
Well,
outthrow
Wheeler
Dave.
played baseball for Miami.
I don't even think you could outthrow Andrew.
Oh no, I could.
No,
See,
you
here's the
can't.
thing. I know I don't have a lot going for me. I get that. But I have a good arm. That is one thing.
Yeah, you.
Seriously, I have a
Amy.
good arm. I was talking smack one time. This was years ago. I was in a car with my friend, and we were having this conversation. You couldn't outthrow me. I said, "Yeah, I can throw a perfect spiral football,
Okay.
and I can throw." And he pulled the car over, like out of nowhere. And we were in South City, so he pulled it over. We were near Tower Grove Park. He goes, "I have a football in the trunk. Let's do this." And I grabbed the football and I impressed him.
Okay. That's a story about how you throw the football better than your friend thought you were going to. That is not a story of you throwing farther than he did or being able to,
He played
to
college
wing a
football.
baseball.
He
okay,
was,
well,
he was a quarterback.
Yeah, he was impressed with you.
You didn't play college football. So
You're not,
I'm just,
are you gaslighting me here? Because this is not the discussion. The discsion
I'm
is
just
not, are
saying
you better than I
baseball
thought?
or football. Like I couldn't, right. I am saying right now, I will bet you a coffee from Catalyst Coffee that I can outthrow you.
Oh.
Baseball.
Okay.
Because throwing a football is hard because I have little Muppet hands. They're strangely small. And so with these little Muppet hands, it's hard to throw a football. I can do it.
Yeah.
But a baseball is, I'm better with throwing a baseball.
A texter says, name calling, Amy, you're better than that.
Oh, because I called you an idiot.
I assure you she is not.
I'm not. I'm sorry. That's
Also-
as good as it gets.
Also, KMOX Day,
Yeah.
somebody wants to know via the text line. You can text us 314-436-7900. Why is KMOX Day not November 20th? Well, Cardinals aren't going to play on 11/20 this year. I don't think anybody is, actually.
Yeah. It's KMOX Day at the ballpark.
At
which
the ballpark.
We could hang out at the closed ballpark on a cold November day, but what's the point?
KMOX Day is, well, I mean, 11/20 every year is just generally KMOX Day in St. Louis.
But this is
as
KMOX
September
Day
87th.
at the ballpark.
Yeah, at the ballpark.
Yeah, September 87th. That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Because we're on 98.7
Yeah.
FM also.
Yeah.
And we're on the Odyssey app. At Odyssey, download it, odyssey.com, Google Play, Apple Store, whatever you call it
Anyway,
there.
what Chris wants you to know is go to Twitter at
Chris Amy
KMOX and vote.
Vote on-
Who should throw out the first pitch?
It's either Amy or me. One of us gets to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to ask John Rooney what he thinks should happen next on KMOX.
Best newscast in the country. The KMOX Newsroom, national winner of the Edward R. Murrow Award for Best Newscast in America. Responsible journalism helps expose corruption and shines a light on problems that would otherwise go unnoticed. That's what KMOX News aims to do every hour. Committed to bringing St. Louisans closer to truth and understanding, and among the best in the country at it. We are the voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
If power outages are putting a damper on your day, Reinhold Electric has your back. Their professional electrical services can handle emergency repairs, and they can offer backup generators to keep your home or business running smoothly no matter how severe the storms are. They understand the importance of uninterrupted power for commercial properties, storefronts, restaurants, retirement communities, and your home. Get a quote for a permanent solution or a quick connection box. 314-631-1158. 314-631-1158. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
For a limited time, First Community is offering an 18-month certificate of deposit that pays 5% annual percentage yield and a 12-month certificate that pays 4.25% annual percentage yield. Unlike some high-risk investments, CDs are fully insured to keep your savings safe, and a return on your investment is guaranteed. Requires a $500 minimum deposit to open. Call 1-800-767-8880 for terms and conditions. Federally insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
It's a sunny sky, 93 degrees downtown at the Arch. And
This just in.
Ameren is asking customers to conserve energy today. The Midwest grid operator is expecting high electric usage across 15 states that it serves today. Donald Trump has hired a new lead attorney for his Georgia case as he's set to surrender on charges he schemed to overturn the 2020 election in the state. Prominent Atlanta criminal defense attorney Steve Sadow says in a Thursday court filing he will be lead counsel. Explore St. Louis's Kat Neville says the region is a draw for national-level concert acts.
National-level concerts are happening with regularity around the St. Louis region. And so promoters and, big companies like Live Nation, they are looking to make a profit. And so what they do is they're looking for cities that they know will drive ticket sales. And St. Louis is one of those cities.
Neville tells Total Information AM that a virtual sellout crowd of 45,000 turned out at the Dome on Monday night for Beyonce's nearly 3-hour set. We've got some road work on 270 East at North Hanley. The left lane is closed. A stalled vehicle 70 East at 141. That's also in the right lane. Sunny to partly cloudy this afternoon. Hot and humid with the high near the record of 103 set in 1947. Warm tonight, low 81. For tomorrow, hot, humid, times of sun and clouds at the high of 103. At the moment, it's 93. Downtown at the Arch under a sunny sky. It feels like 103. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
McKelvey Homes. Founded in 1898, McKelvey Homes is celebrating 125 years with our inventory home sale. Get $12,500 off of all our market homes. Move in quick, lock in your interest rate, and get all the popular features and colors selected by design professionals. And for every home sold, McKelvey Homes will donate $1,898 to Dravet Syndrome Foundation. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res. Been together a long time now, I think over 10 years. So hundreds, if not thousands of DGS listeners have used Zero Res to come to their homes and their places of business, their churches, their schools to clean their carpeting, their area rugs, their tile, their furniture upholstery, their air ducts. Every month we have a DGS deal for you. This is a good one because summer's almost over. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the way we do it now, it is. Kids are going back to school. Get ready to take my daughter Phoebe back to school. Got the holidays coming up in just a few months. It's a great time to get your whole house clean. We can help you out with that. Get $100 off your air duct cleaning. That's $100 off your air duct cleaning during the month of August. Be ready for fall. Be ready for the holidays. Be ready even for the new year and well into next year by using Zero Res. Great people. 4.9 Google reviews with almost 5,000 reviews already in the tank. That's 314-474-2020, ZeroResSTL.com.
What defines us is who we are as a collective group and how we progress and gain momentum through the season.
The Coach's Corner with St. Louis City coach Bradley Carnell. Mondays at 9:35 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX. Now the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX. Sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
Mason Wynn hits a chopper to third. Throw to second, out, on to first, safe, and a run scores. Figueroa tried to make the quick turn and get the double play, but Wynn beat the throw and gets his first Major League RBI. 6-3 Cardinals with 2 outs in the ninth.
Today's Cardinals Report is brought to you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back. Family owned and top rated Renner Door, STL.com. It is Chris and Amy today on KMOX 1130. We talk some birds. We go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. And John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, who will be back on the call tomorrow as the Cardinals take on the Phillies in Philadelphia. It is a night game. 6:05 is the first pitch for that one here on KMOX. John talking to us now. What's up, John?
Well, it's a day off today, and nice time to have a day off here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it is. What's the weather like there? Here it's 140.
Well, it's a little cooler here, and it's nice, though. Not like it is back in the Midwest. Ugh. But hopefully Sunday there'll be a break in the weather for you.
Hey, you ever heard of corn sweat?
I think I'm going to.
Okay. Corn sweat, John, is a thing that I just heard about. And it is the something. I got to look it up. But it's a real scientific thing. And apparently when it's hot enough, the vegetables will sweat. it draws the water out of them and it makes it muggier, which is part of the reason the Midwest is so muggy all the time.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell your
Brunch,
friends.
I don't know why you, yeah.
Down.
Yeah, tell your friends. Oh, I have another baseball question for you. Well, first baseball question. I saw today that the Dodgers, they had a game against Cleveland last night that was suspended because of rain, and they decided to pick it back up today at 9:30 in the morning. Well, I guess it would have been Pacific time, 9:30 in the morning. So it must have been 11:30 local time. What is the earliest baseball game that you have ever called, a professional baseball game?
I think we had a 10:30 start in Minnesota one day because of a college football game that night.
On a Saturday?
On a Saturday, yeah.
They used to do that all the time. I remember that.
Then we've had that Peacock game that starts at 11:30 on Sundays. We've had that a couple of times.
Did you ever buy that excuse? And we heard it a lot from people who played for the Cubs back in the day because they had so many day games. That was one of the reasons they didn't perform very well is because they played so many day games. They'd go on the road, they'd play a night game, then they'd have to come back home and play a day game, and it messed up their rhythm. Do you believe in that?
I think because of so many day games and maybe the guys were out late, really late the night before. That might have had a little something to do with it, too.
Oh, yeah, the late night day game combo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen guys do
Who
that.
was it? I think it was Alexander Steen for the Blues. I guess he was pretty good at pulling himself together in the morning, and another guy was struggling, and Steen said, out with the boys, up with the men.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. So the Cardinals are going up against a Phillies team tomorrow that is pretty good right now. They had a terrific season last year in the end, and here they are like this. It is the trajectory for Philadelphia. Will it continue to go up? Do you think that's where they are now?
Well, they're pretty good, and they were good going into the season. I don't think Aaron Nola had the season that he would like, but yet he is an ace of a staff and can go out there and pitch a great game at any start. So they have Bryce Harper, who has been contributing mightily to that team, and Kyle Schwarber is a guy who he can go on home run tears and carry a club. Not to mention Trey Turner, who has been on a roll lately. But it was Paul DeYoung who helped put a stop to that yesterday in a great game with San Francisco. As the Giants picked him up, he had 3 hits and a home run and drove in 4 runs, and the Giants won an extra innings here.
And this was after he was designated for assignment by the Toronto Blue Jays, ends up in San Francisco. I know that his time in St. Louis was up and down, to say the least. So it's nice to see him do well somewhere else. And I know this is just a first game for him, but it's nice for him to get back out there.
And I think he'll do well there, Chris, because he's in a platoon situation with San Francisco. That's the way they've used a lot of their players, where he'll see some right-handed pitching, but he'll be in there against a lot of lefties, I would imagine. And that's just the way they use their bench and they use their roster, that it may just benefit him. But certainly I think he'll do better there than he would have with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Visiting with John Rooney here, the voice of the Cardinals on KMOX. And the other night, Adam Wainwright again failed to get to win number 199. Didn't have a particularly good outing. When you watch him pitch, he did have the quality start, his second to last time out, but it has been a struggle for him over the last several starts otherwise. What are you seeing when he's on the mound?
Well, he wasn't able to get past a pitch that they missed. That would have been strike 3 and may have been able to get him out of the 5th inning without any scoring, and they got 5 runs off of him. He just wasn't able to rebound from that near miss. Like yesterday, Palante thought he had a strikeout, ended up giving up a run to that batter. The batter put the ball in play, a run scored, but he was able to go on and get the next out and keep that inning from being 2 or 3 runs for Pittsburgh. And Adam just hasn't been able to turn the corner. And whether it's a walk or an error or a missed call, hasn't been able to overcome that kind of thing, and the inning starts snowballing, and everybody's pulling for him to get to 200 and to try to have a strong finish here down the stretch. And there are times where I see some life to his fastball. His cutter looks pretty good, and his curveball. But that curveball, if it rolls, it goes a long way, like it did off the bat of Bobby Witt there in Kansas City. That ball's still going, but we're all pulling for him because of what he's meant to the Cardinals and what he's meant to St. Louis.
How important I know that for some pitchers, in particular the older school pitchers, that win total and the pitcher win is really important to them. And getting to that nice round number of 200, it sounds good, right? But how important do you think that number specifically is to him?
Well, he has talked about wanting to pitch much better than winning just 200 games. Going back to his get-together with the media at winter warm-up, that was suggested that he's going for 200 wins. But he said, you don't think that I'm capable of helping this team and winning more than that? I think what he wants to do is finish strongly. And if he gets the 200 wins, then that's terrific. But I think he wants to have a good finish. That's what's important to him. And if he has a good finish, then he helps his team win a few ball games, and then he'll benefit from that too. But I think he wants to pitch well going out. That's just kind of the impression that I get.
Yeah, John, when you look at a competitive elite athlete like Adam Wainwright, a guy like that, their bodies will always go at the end of their career before their competitive spirit, before their brains say, okay, it's time to shut it down. And that's got to be really, really tough as an athlete to reconcile that because he's so used to pushing himself to the limit.
I mean, when you think about it, he might be pushing for 235 or 40 or 45 wins without the injuries throughout his career. That he had to sit out the 2011 season with surgery. He had the Achilles problem. That 200th win could have come long before now. But that also takes a toll on the body as Adam has gotten older, and that's what happened. That's life. But the competitive spirit, I think that'll be there until Adam Wainwright takes his last breath on this earth.
John Rooney is with us. He is the voice of the Cardinals. And again, the team, as we mentioned, is going to play in Philadelphia. That's a matchup of that wild card series from last year. So it's kind of difficult not to think about that series when, they take that first game and then the rest of it just did not work out. Do you still like the wild card format as it is now? And this is a very new thing for us still.
I like it, and we saw a little taste of it in 2020 during the COVID year, and I like it. But it shows you what can happen in one inning of a series that can turn things completely against you. The Cardinals led going to the ninth, but after Philadelphia scored 5 times, and they were able to win that game, and then the next day they put away the series and moved on and made it all the way to the World Series before Houston eliminated them. I do like the series, but I've seen it turn kind of like in '88 when Kirk Gibson hit the home run off Dennis Eckersley. I saw World Series won in Game 1, basically. That turned a momentum that the Dodgers just didn't let up on, even though the A's won one game on a Mark McGwire home run in Oakland. But that was all they were able to get when many people thought Oakland would just roll right through that series. I do like the format. It's a long format, though, for the playoffs, that it seems like that by the time we get to the World Series, the main interest focus is in the two cities involved in the World Series. But it's a grueling format, though, for hockey. To me, that's about as tough a sport to win a championship, to go through that playoff system. But baseball does about the same thing, and it keeps a lot of interest in a number of cities to make the postseason and have a chance to make a run like Philadelphia did last year, and that's why I think I like it.
John, breaking news this morning that the Angels' Shohei Ohtani suffered a tear to a ligament in his right elbow and won't pitch again this season. I know when I heard that, my first thought was worry that, okay, how does this affect him going forward? I hope this is not a big deal. He's such an electric player. What are your thoughts about an injury like this to a guy of his caliber?
Well, I understand he's had Tommy John surgery once, and we'll see what happens as far as the pitching side of things. I don't think that's going to affect his hitting one bit once he gets through the rehab process and he's healthy and cleared and ready to go again. As a hitter, he could make buku bucks in Major League Baseball. The guy can drive a ball a mile, and he's a very important piece in the middle of anybody's lineup as far as doing damage with extra base hits and runs batted in. But he has been an elite pitcher at the major league level, and we'll just have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I was taken back by that news as well.
You know, I would think that it'll be a very long time before we see anybody like him again. But does the mere presence of him, does that make it more likely we will see more players try to do what he's doing, as they go through the high school level, and I guess they already do that in high school, but then college and then into the minor leagues? How much more of this do you think we'll see?
Mason Wynn is a guy who throws, 100 miles an hour if he happened to try pitching, and he has pitched in his life. But I think they're more concerned about having a great shortstop over the years in St. Louis than they are having a two-way player. But I think we'll see some more try. But to be as effective and to equal Shohei Ohtani, what he's done, especially to this point, that's going to be pretty difficult to do.
Yeah, and I really feel bad for Angels fans who, by the way, Mike Trout back on the injured list. He's got a hand thing, and you've got Ohtani, who's doing what he did all season up until the UCL injury. They've had years of Mike Trout, who was clearly the best player in the world for a long time, and they just can't find their way to the postseason. Is it that it stings for baseball, John, that's the situation they're in? They've got arguably two of the best players of the last 25 years, and they can't make the playoffs.
Well, you have to pitch it, catch it, and you have to then find a way to score a run. Well, they have ways to score runs, but pitching it and catching it effectively, that goes into the equation. And when you put that together, that's how teams make a run and win it all. That's something that they weren't able to supplement with enough pitching and enough to go around a lineup that could score runs. They weren't able to do much when Albert Pujols was in that mix. But when Albert came back, and then the Cardinals were able to supplement their pitching last year, adding Montgomery and then adding Quintana and Stratton from Pittsburgh, that made a big difference. And then Albert was able to help carry an offense, and certainly we had Goldie chipping in with an MVP year, and Nolan Arenado with a good, strong finish. It just makes you wonder, what if they could have put away that ninth inning and won the first game and moved on? Maybe it would have been the Cardinals on that kind of run that Philadelphia got on last year. But that's how things turned in this game, and that's the way it worked out for Philadelphia. It just hasn't worked out that way for the Angels.
Yeah, and Albert wasn't the same player there that he was here. But I didn't even think about the fact they've got these three future Hall of Famers who over the last 15 years have played there.
Right.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And they've been able to watch great individual efforts and performances and wonderful athletes, but they haven't been able to do much in the postseason, where the Dodgers, just north there of Anaheim, have been able to do a whole lot more.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that Ohtani becomes a Hall of Famer. It's still very early. You never know. Hey, John, on Wednesday of next week, it's the 30th. It is KMOX Day at the ballpark. We are letting people choose. They get to vote who gets to throw out the first pitch, Amy or me. Who do you think should get to do it with all of your baseball expertise? Who should it be?
You should both throw it out.
This guy.
I knew he was going to say that.
He's very diplomatic.
Yeah. Or he'd say, I don't really want to pick.
See, it's like asking a parent, which kid do you like more?
Yeah, but secretly, there's one you like better.
I mean, you two are my favorites, and I'm on Wednesdays, and I enjoy this. And now you ruined it for me on a day off.
Hey.
Which one should I pick?
Hey.
What is this? The Smothers Brothers, where, Tommy told Dickie Smothers, Mom always liked you best or whatever. Come on. That's not what we're into.
Well,
I'm not going there. I think you both should. And I think there should be two other staff members as catchers. I mean, in London, we had two guys throwing out first pitches.
That's true.
So you can throw out the first ceremonial first pitches.
What if we say that
and then have two catchers? That's what I do.
How about this, John? What if we say our feelings won't be hurt when you pick?
Okay, how about this though?
I'm not buying it.
What about you don't have to say which one is your favorite. You can just tell us which one is your least favorite.
Yeah, which one of us is your least favorite?
I'm not buying it. I don't care how you twist it. I'm not buying it. I'm not going there.
He's a smart man.
I'm depressed now, and
not.
My goodness, I don't even know if I can enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes,
what
you
you've
can.
done to me here in this segment.
I think you're going to have a great day today, John. So
that we are.
Enjoy your day in
going out to
Pennsylvania.
dinner tonight.
Yeah.
The radio TV crew, and we're looking forward to a good time.
All right, we'll go get them.
That we will. But I think you both should throw out the first ball and have two other staff members catching. I think that would be awesome. And, then Fred Bird can run from one to the other and call both of them strikes.
Not a bad idea.
Make it a big moment.
I like it.
Thank you, John Rooney.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
That's John Rooney, voice of the Cardinals. Again, tomorrow, 6:05 is the first pitch from Philadelphia, which I can't do math, but I believe that means the pregame show will be at 5:10.
Don't make stuff up.
Isn't that right? 5:10.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I am right.
You're right.
Yeah. 5:10 pregame show tomorrow. Cardinals and Phillies. Miles Michaelis pitches. It's here on KMOX and the Odyssey app. As long as you're in the area, you can listen for free. Amy?
Why, thanks, Ranj. STL Fence Works. STL Fence Works has been serving the St. Louis, the St. Charles, Franklin, and Warren counties for over 50 years, going way back to 1971. Family owned and operated, locally owned and operated. And at STL Fence Works, you've heard Sean Timothy Long, you've heard his voice on KMOX, and you've heard him say that your satisfaction is their passion. And that is the truth. Whether you are putting in a fence for some separation and privacy in your yard to give some definition to the space, or my favorite, a deck. I've spent so much time out on the deck this summer. I can't wait to spend more time this fall as the weather breaks. STL Fence Works can add value and space to your home. They have never once wavered in their quality and customer first approach. When you work with them, you know that your project will be completed by an experienced craftsman in a timely manner. Plus, they have a lifetime warranty that surpasses anything else offered in the industry. So whether you are looking to put in a fence or finally build that deck to make your home the gathering place for family and friends, STL Fence Works can make your backyard dreams a reality. STLFenceworks.com.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in. Or you find out you're expecting again. Or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20. Or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. So call your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you. And we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're from Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
September 1st and 2nd, it's the Midwest Wing Fest in Fairview Heights, Illinois. This legendary food and music festival benefits combat wounded soldiers and families of local fallen heroes. Enjoy food, drinks, awesome live music, and a massive kids area. Entry is $5 for patrons 12 and over, but upgrade to a VIP ticket that includes unlimited chicken wings from Dandy Inn and beer from Chicks Fritz Distributing, as well as private restrooms. Midwest Wing Fest VIP tickets on sale now at MidwestWingFest.com/events.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. Have questions after being injured in an accident? We'll match you with the Onder Law team that's right for you and your case.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Next hour, we'll be talking to Dr. Ellen Carnigan, professor of political science at SLU, about what happened in Russia yesterday with the shooting down or bombing and or malfunction that happened with Evgeny Prigozhin's plane, and he is presumed to be dead. And if you don't remember, that's the dude that he attempted a coup against
the Wagner group in Russia.
Yeah, well,
Russia said the plane crashed.
Yeah. And it fell straight from the sky.
Technically, it did crash.
It did.
It
crash.
probably got hit by a missile first,
Sure looks
but
like
it definitely crashed.
Yeah, so we'll talk to her about that next hour. We've got more coming up, and we'll recap the show up till this point next on KMOX.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, so why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Deerbergs.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. Call now, 314-720-8081.
Charlie Brennan here. Last year, Beth and I discovered water in the ceiling near the chimney in the front of our house. We immediately called Morelli Tuck Pointing, St. Louis's premier tuck pointer since 1991. The Morelli team then tuck pointed the front and the rear chimneys above the roof and spot tuck pointed below the roof. Morelli used a waterproof mortar that perfectly matched the existing mortar. Then the guys re-cemented the cap, sealed the flashing, and waterproofed the chimney. They then cleaned up so you could never tell any work was done. The Brennans no longer see any water in our front room, and I think if you live in a brick or stone home in need of repair, call the company that's received the Angie's List Super Service Award every year, back to back to back since 2005. Morelli, winner of the BBB Torch Award. Check out their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. MorelliTuckPointing.com, 314-645-1387.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey today.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Yeah, I know, but the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too?
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry. It's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, would he look like me?
No.
Go where everyone else goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Well, what if I shaved?
Still no.
For store hours, directions, and more, go to diamondsdirect.com.
If you're trying to sell a home, there's only one agent in town that I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we have sunny skies, 94 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. The extreme heat putting a strain on the regional electric grid. That has Ameren now asking customers to conserve energy. Ameren says customers can still use their AC, but should raise the temperature a few degrees. The utility says closing curtains and blinds can help reduce energy needs. Ameren also asks customers to wait to run appliances such as dishwashers and washing machines until after 10 p.m. Former President Trump set to turn himself in later today in Atlanta after being indicted related to the 2020 election interference case in Georgia. Trump, along with 18 other co-defendants, are named in the indictment. CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian reports from Atlanta on what's planned at the courthouse.
There are two different areas around the jail. We're kind of in the secure perimeter, so that's why you really don't see any protesters or demonstrators behind me. But I did just come from that area, and it is kind of a loose amalgam of media and Trump supporters, and it almost kind of feels a bit like a festival type atmosphere.
Russian President Vladimir Putin sending condolences to the family of Wagner founder Yevgeny Prigozhin. This announcement comes as UK authorities believe Russia's domestic intelligence agency was likely behind the crash near Moscow that killed 10 people. CBS News reporter Mariel Yushna is there with the latest.
This is really the first we've heard from the Kremlin or any Russian high-profile officials about what exactly is the status of Yevgeny Prigozhin now, but he did not say the words that he died.
3 astronauts and a cosmonaut are hours away from their launch to the International Space Station for a 6-month stay. As CBS News correspondent Peter King reports, it's a truly international crew.
The crew includes 2 space veterans and 2 rookies. And this is not just the first flight for Russian cosmonaut Konstantin Borisov.
Surprising thing, I haven't seen any launch yet, so I will be riding a rocket which I have not seen launch.
Spacecraft Commander Jasmine Mugbelli is also making her first flight.
In my 6th grade yearbook, that there's that page of what everyone wants to be, and mine says astronaut. And of course, no one thinks you're actually going to become an astronaut when you say that in 6th grade.
Danish astronaut Andreas Morgensen and Japan's Satoshi Furukawa flying for the 2nd time. It's also Furukawa's 2nd space station mission. Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
From the KMOX business desk, what would you do with $250 million? Well, you can at least tell St. Louis what to do with that kind of money.
The city of St. Louis has been asking residents in an online survey how to spend the remaining $250 million they received in a settlement with the St. Louis Rams. President of the city's Board of Aldermen, Megan Green, says the response has been great so far.
We've had nearly 1,500 people register for the portal already. I think a little bit less than that fill out the survey, and about 160 different ideas that have been submitted to the portal already.
You can find the portal by going to stlewis.citizenlab.co. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Dow from Stifel this hour down 212 points at 34,260. The S&P 500 down 32 points at 4,403.
Hi, it's Maria Kino, asking you to join us in saving a life today by donating blood at the annual KMOX Brett Bloom Red Cross Blood Drive. We are at the Collinsville American Legion Post 365 from 2 until 7. We hope to see you here.
One traffic note for you this afternoon. The exit from westbound 64 to Wing Haven is closed at this time, and that's due to crews responding to a vehicle fire. Checking the forecast.
Very hot once again for this afternoon. Humid as well, with a high temperature near the record high of 103 set back in 1947. Real field temperatures closer to 110 degrees. Very warm for tonight, low of 81. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, 94 degrees in Florissant. It's 95 in St. Peters, and sunny skies, 94 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, brought to you by Midwest Wingfest, September 1st and 2nd in Fairview Heights, Illinois. Tickets on sale now at KMOX.com. Time to rewind. It's the Chris and Amy Rewind Recap.
It is Chris and Amy on KMOX, and I got bad news, bad breaking news.
Yeah.
The trolley in the loop is not running today or tomorrow.
What?
Yep, it's too hot.
So, oh, really? Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, didn't know the trolley was running. I never see it. The trolley.
I drove down Delmar the other day.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you just don't visualize, you don't think about it until you see it. But that street is just not built for cars and a trolley.
No, it's not, Ranj. Thanks for noticing
It
that.
just isn't.
No.
And then I saw one of those bus trolleys driving down Lindell, and I thought, see, that's an idea. I want a bus trolley that can just drive wherever it wants.
You know how we always say, like Rudy Giuliani, man, if he had just stopped several years ago, right? If he had just stopped, I don't know how many years you'd have to go back, 10, 12 years, he would have retired and died as America's mayor. People would have loved that guy. He was Rudy Giuliani. The trolley is kind of like the Rudy Giuliani moment for like all of Joe Edwards' Delmar ideas. If Joe Edwards has done so many great things for Delmar, I love what he has done, whether, you know, with the pageant and Delmar Hall, of course, Blueberry Hill, so many great ideas. Everything was so great. And he should have stopped before the trolley.
Or
the trolley is Delmar's equivalent of Rudy Giuliani's mugshot.
Or you know what he should have done? Flying taxis. That's what he should have done.
No, the Delmar, that strip of Delmar in the Loop is literally the only true, exciting, pedestrian-friendly stretch of road in the entire St. Louis area where people could drive from all over and park behind the building. So much parking, so easy to park. So many stores and restaurants. I know, let's take the only pedestrian-friendly stretch of road, disrupt the parking, disrupt the driving, put trolley rails that are a hazard to pedestrians and cyclists and scooterists, and let's make sure the trolley is always broken.
Well, let's see how it works out. So we discussed the debate, the first Republican primary debate, which took place last night in Milwaukee. There was a lot of mud throwing, I would say, last night. It was still a show, even though former President Trump did not participate in that one or seems likely to participate in any of the others. But Nikki Haley, I thought she did pretty well, and she kind of went after Trump directly. Chris Christie did, obviously. Asa Hutchinson did as well. Mike Pence, yeah, for the most part, he sort of did that. But Haley had quite a bit to say last night.
I do think that Vice President Pence did the right thing, and I do think that we need to give him credit for that. But what I will also tell you is, look, I mean, when it comes to whether President Trump should serve or not, I trust the American people. Let them vote. Let them decide. But what they will tell you is that it is time for a new generational conservative leader. We have to look at the fact that 3/4 of Americans don't want a rematch between Trump and Biden. And we have to face the fact that Trump is the most disliked politician in America. We can't win a general election that way.
I thought that was a very straightforward and true point, saying we cannot win with Donald Trump. I thought it was right of Nikki Haley to say that. She started answering the question, yes, I believe Pence did the right thing, because the moderators asked everyone, do you think Mike Pence did the right thing? Haley said yes. Tim Scott said yes. And Chris Christie went back to that question and was adamantly pro-Pence in a way that I thought was a very nice moment during the debate.
Mike Pence stood for the Constitution, and he deserves not grudging credit. He deserves our thanks as Americans for putting his oath of office and the Constitution of the United States before personal, political, and unfair pressure. And the argument that we need to have in this party before we can move on to the issues that Ron talked about is we have to dispense with the person who said that we need to suspend the Constitution to put forward his political career. Mike Pence said no, and he deserves credit for it.
Yeah, I thought that was really smart on Chris Christie's point. Of course, I loved the New Jersey swagger that Chris Christie has, calling out Trump for all of his illegal and unconstitutional actions, when he brought up and reminded people that Donald Trump said we should suspend the Constitution. You know who else said we should suspend the Constitution? Joe Kennedy. When Hitler was coming to power, he told FDR that, listen, America should, during this unique time, become a fascist country. We should suspend the Constitution while Hitler is coming to power. That was Joe Kennedy's idea, the dad of JFK. And both FDR and Winston Churchill hated Joe Kennedy. He was a smarmy, conniving, arrogant little politician. Yeah.
Well,
Trump also said we should suspend the Constitution.
And I also think that it was evident in the aftermath of it that we didn't really need to suspend the Constitution to defeat Hitler. It was done anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. And we did talk a little bit about Vivek Ramaswamy, who a lot of people thought he did great last night. A lot of people who are Republicans, I thought he was not. I thought he came off as... I called him an empty suit last night.
Yeah.
It's just like, let me say a bunch of things that I think the ultra base really wants to hear. I'm just going to repeat these talking points. I'm going to say them over and over again with force, say them confidently. And it worked. It worked for those people. I was surprised at how many people thought he did a good job last night, because I thought Nikki Haley made him look bad. I thought Mike Pence got to him as well. Even Chris Christie a little bit. I'm a little surprised that people see it differently, but hey, that's what opinions are, and you can have millions of different people see the same thing differently.
Yeah, I think an empty suit is a great way to put it. I like Chris Christie's phrase that I'm sick and tired of this guy who sounds like Chat GPT. He does. I mean, he's incredibly arrogant and glib, and all of his remarks seemed very scripted, very memorized, very superficial. He just wanted slogans that would be catchy. His lack of experience, his lack of depth, the inanity with which he just...
All of his interviews have been that way.
Yes, he just throws out these catchphrases. I thought Nikki Haley hit the nail on the head when she said, you have no foreign policy experience, and it shows. And the crowd cheered over it.
Yeah, and we talked to Major Garrett, CBS chief Washington correspondent, about, I mean, it took them an hour before they got to Trump last night in that 2-hour debate.
If candidates had either precipitated a conversation about Trump before that, I don't think they would have blocked that, but it didn't happen. So they felt that they had to check that box and then move on. And that, I think, minimized in this larger context just how big an issue that is, because as Bret Baier accurately said, the elephant who's not here. And it's not just an elephant symbolically for the Republican Party, it's a very large presence. Not just the politics of it, but the law of it.
And I think the very bottom line to everything is, while that was a spectacle in itself last night, and I suppose that you could have found it entertaining if you watched it in a certain way.
With alcohol?
With alcohol.
Which is... I'm not saying I had an old fashioned or two, but I had an old fashioned or two.
So I still think that the very bottom line is none of it mattered, because it might matter on an individual level for somebody like Vivek, who got more notoriety last night.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he opened himself up to a position in the administration if Trump wins the next election. But the bottom line is Trump is going to be the nominee. Nobody on stage last night did anything to take any momentum away from Donald Trump.
We would be such a better country with someone like Nikki Haley as president than Donald Trump. I brought up that phrase that Chris Christie said, I've had enough of this guy that sounds like Chat GPT. That was after Ramaswamy said, I'm the only one on this stage that's not bought and paid for. And the crowd booed. I mean, that's just a lie. You know how many Doug Burgum's bought and paid for? Get serious.
Doug Burgum, just happy to be here. First, by the way, Doug Burgum, how about this guy? You got Michael Jordan's flu game.
Yeah.
You got the Kirk Gibson's home run.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You got Kerry Strug in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
And then Doug Burgum at the GOP debate coming in on a broken ankle.
I will say this quickly, too. This was the most aggressive Pence we've seen. And Vivek was loud and clear. He said, I will pardon Trump. And Pence looked at him and goes, why do you keep assuming he's guilty?
was pretty great.
That was pretty good on Pence's part.
Dr. Ellen Carnigan, professor of political science at St. Louis University, joins us next after the developments in Russia with Evgeny Prigozhin and his supposed death. That's coming up on KMOX.
Hyundais are all the rage, and you can pick out your brand new Hyundai, maybe a Hyundai Santa Fe, or the new electric vehicle Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6 over at St. Charles Hyundai. So right now through the end of August, if you're looking for an EV, you want to check out the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6 because through the end of August, you can get $7,500 towards your lease of those vehicles. It's a simply amazing electric vehicle. Also, St. Charles Hyundai just got a bunch of new Santa Fe's in stock. And right there, $2,500 off MSRP. It's a great deal. There's a reason why St. Charles Hyundai is Missouri's largest Hyundai dealer. Also, you can enjoy no payments until November, and you never have to worry about paying over MSRP. They're not going to mark up the cars. They deal in volume. They keep the cars in stock. They move off the lot quickly. You know you're getting a great deal on the car you want. If you visit them online, you know that the price you see online is the price you pay. So head on over to stcharleshyundai.com, stcharleshyundai.com, or visit their campus a quarter mile east of Mid Rivers Mall Drive, just off Highway 70.
Two ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 AM further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Improve your gas mileage by properly inflating tires and taking your car in for a tune-up. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. It's always great to work with Spring Green, no matter the season. And this fall, aerating and overseeding your lawn is the best time to thicken up the yard. Take care of some of those trouble spots by reaching out to Spring Green, spring-green.com. Top dressing your lawn with compost is the single best thing you can do to your lawn every year. Shrub pruning, cutting back your perennials from the fall, installing a retaining wall can help with curb appeal as well. spring-green.com.
Hey, St. Louis, Matzo Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza, thanking you for an awesome week of Brewpub pizza sampling. Many of you stop by for your free slice and mention how you buy the Brewpub pizzas all the time and how much you love them. Thank you for those kind words. Now, some of you, on the other hand, were first-timers, enjoying the award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese and, of course, those high-quality meat and veggie toppings. Once a first-timer, now a lifer. And finally, if you're one that didn't get to try some pizza, but you're still on the fence, hey, grab a Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza from your local grocery store today. Deliciousness awaits.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Glickert with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and I know the secret. My unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. You'd love to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no HCG, no surgery, and no hypnosis. Call my office now at 314-207-8600.
This is Debbie Monterey, and I can tell you, thanks to St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, it feels great. I lost 20 pounds in the first 30 days, and I've lost more than 30 pounds in 60 days. And you can do this. Real food that helps to speed up your metabolism. It is amazing to watch the pounds fall off.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 314-207-8600. That's 314-207-8600 or online at moweightloss.com.
Results may vary. Station KMOX, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing a broad outreach for job vacancies at our stations. We seek the help from local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our stations. Community organizations that wish to receive our job vacancy information can reach out to Frankie Fan at 206-577-2432. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job vacancies of all Odyssey radio stations.
Best newscast in the country. The KMOX Newsroom, national winner of the Edward R. Murrow Award for Best Newscast in America.
Yesterday, we got news of Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner mercenary group, who attempted a coup against Vladimir Putin in Russia months ago. In fact, I think it was almost exactly a couple of months ago all of this went down, was apparently killed in a plane crash. and it's all very suspicious. We go to the Quiver River Electric guest line this afternoon. Dr. Ellen Carnigan, professor of political science at SLU, is with us. Good afternoon, doctor. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
What in the world is happening over there?
Well, I don't think anybody expected that Prigozhin was going to have a long and peaceful retirement. And so in that sense, this isn't that surprising, if indeed he was on the plane that went down. I think maybe the thing that was surprising to me was sort of the flamboyance of it, since many of Putin's opponents have been killed over the past few years in particular. But this was so visible to so many people, but that clearly also does send a message that if you go against Putin, there's a price to pay.
It's funny that you use that word. There was a CNN story with, I think, a pretty clever lead. Said Yevgeny Prigozhin lived as he apparently died, violently and flamboyantly, which is what you see here with this plane crash / it being shot down or there being a bomb. My question is, it's the Russians and the Russians only investigating this crash, correct? So do we
That's
know?
correct.
Do we know if we can trust their reports?
There's no reason to trust their reports. And that is to say that they have not yet officially said that Prigozhin, he was supposed to be on the plane, but they haven't officially identified the remains. Putin spoke quite recently and implied even so that, preliminary investigations seem to indicate that it's Prigozhin. I think no matter what, we will never be entirely certain that Prigozhin was on that plane. And some of his supporters are already creating the myth that he was not. So we won't have the kind of evidence. Now, some Western intelligence sources are confirming that they have some evidence that it was Prigozhin, but again, I'm not sure what it is.
They have already kind of floated out there that Ukraine is responsible for this, or maybe Ukraine is responsible for this. Is that the kind of message that will work with the Russian people if the government tries to tell them it wasn't us, it was our enemy? Do they believe it?
I don't think they believe it necessarily, but I think that there is enough room for doubt, both about Prigozhin's actual death, whether he is dead or not, and also about who is responsible, that it makes it hard for people to think that they absolutely know what happened. So they're not likely to really believe it was the Ukrainians that shot the plane down, but they don't know that it was the government that sabotaged the plane in some way.
Well, it could also be that, or could it also be that Prigozhin, for some reason, wanted to stage his own death? He's been known to have a body double before. He wanted to stage his own death to somehow get him off of Putin's hook.
So I think that's a plausible explanation, and this is what I mean about there's this room for doubt that Prigozhin recognized that he was not particularly safe, and one of the ways to be safer would be to just drop off the radar altogether. It strikes me that the most direct explanation here might be the most plausible, and that is that Putin got rid of an enemy. But there are other possibilities which cloud our interpretation of the situation.
What would be within the country, the domestic implications for the death of this person who was kind of popular with quite a few people over there just a couple of months ago?
So I wouldn't overestimate Prigozhin's popularity. And that is to say, he's certainly popular with some people, and he's probably most popular with the pro-war segment of the Russian population. But that's not necessarily a very large segment of the population. So for other people, I'm not sure that they see the death of a mercenary leader as such a terrible thing. But at the same time, one of the messages they're getting is, they're being ruled by a man who's willing to kill his enemies and all of his associates just for crossing him. And they know that on one level, but this is a reinforcement of that negative interpretation of who Putin is.
Would we have, and maybe this is unknowable, would the global implications have been better had Prigozhin successfully followed through with a coup and taken Putin out? Or would we be in a worse position?
I think that's what we really just don't know. And that is to say, Putin is not a positive force in the future of Russia at the moment. But there are other people who would take Russia down exactly the same path. So getting rid of Putin is not necessarily a change in a direction that the West would consider positive.
So, yeah, what happens now? Because the paramilitary group led by Prigozhin, the Wagner group, they were responsible for myriad brutal human rights abuses. They did a lot of dirty work that the Russian state couldn't really do officially. The Wagner group gave the state of Russia plausible deniability. Now it seems like that's gone. That whole arm of the Russia military / paramilitary force is just gone, with the Wagner group being gone.
So it might be, you might be right about that, or it might also be that the Putin regime is trying to insert new leaders into the Wagner group, leaders that they feel are more loyal to Putin. And that the same processes that occurred in the past can occur in the future under different leadership. I think the thing we don't know there is how a bunch of mercenaries respond to having a new leader imposed on them. They won't necessarily want to follow that person, but after all, they're mercenaries, so they're in it for the money, and so they might do it.
Lastly, before our election takes place next year, there's another important one. And if I'm not mistaken, it's on St. Patrick's Day, right? That Russia holds their next election. It's assumed Putin is going to run. There are a couple of other candidates in. What is the likelihood it's somebody else other than him when that election is over?
Under present circumstances, it's almost impossible for somebody else to win that election. The elections are managed from above, and therefore the outcome is usually well known in advance. The main way that they are managed from above is that candidates who might actually have a chance of winning aren't allowed to run at all. So we know that Navalny's already in prison, and others, might die in plane crashes, car accidents, and fall out of windows, which has been what's happening to some of Putin's former allies.
Falling out of hospitals or windows in hospitals, totally normal stuff.
Yeah,
that
right.
happens. Well, all right. Appreciate the information, Dr. Carnigan. Thank you for visiting with us today.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
That is Dr. Ellen Carnigan, professor of political science at SLU.
It's crazy.
But they do hold their election on a Sunday.
So that way the votes that don't matter,
right,
you can get there?
Right. You can at least do it. You don't have to take off work.
Unbelievable.
That's kind of cool.
Well, I don't know. I don't use my weekend. I'd rather get a weekday off.
I would not want to use my... No, I'd rather get a... Yeah,
get a weekday
you're right.
off.
You're right.
Make it a holiday.
I totally agree with you on that. That'd be awesome. Anyway, that's Amy. I'm Chris. It's KMOX.
Hey, Debbie Monterey here. Before you sell your home, you should know what it's worth in today's market. Call Gloria Liu. She'll tell you. With 20 plus years of experience, Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty has been successfully selling homes in your area for more money than the average agent. Gloria has multiple selling options that give you, the seller, the power of how and when your home is sold. A few of Gloria's options include bringing multiple cash offers from her substantial pool of investors, a zero commission program, and don't forget Gloria's guaranteed sale program. How can Gloria guarantee the sale of your home? Because Gloria's database of buyers is huge, and she is so confident that she can sell your home that she can put her own money where her mouth is. So just call Gloria today, your local St. Louis real estate expert, at 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888 or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Benjamin Franklin said, failing to plan is the same as planning to fail. And that's especially true when it comes to planning for your retirement. Steve All of the All Financial Group can help you create a customized retirement master plan.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. You got a lot of people calling with a lot of different questions. Questions around their 401ks. What do they do? Rollovers. Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Call 636-230-8824 and schedule a complimentary portfolio review, or visit online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services are offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. BWA and All Financial Group, LLC are independent of each other. Insurance and annuity products are offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 803-9738.
At 12:30, we have sunny skies and 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. Donald Trump has hired a new lead attorney for his Georgia case as he's set to surrender on charges he schemed to overturn the 2020 election in the state. Prominent Atlanta criminal defense attorney Steve Sadow says in a Thursday court filing that he will be lead counsel. Trump's booking process expected to yield a historic first, a mugshot of a former American president. A federal judge in New York has ordered disgraced singer R. Kelly's record label to hand over his accumulated royalties to pay his restitution bill. We get the story now from CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
Kelly is in prison on a 30-year sentence for racketeering and sex trafficking, but his songs continue to generate income. More than a year ago, he was ordered to pay $520,000 plus interest to his victims. This week, a judge ordered Universal Music Group to hand over almost $507,000 being held by the label.
The seasonal drink that made pumpkin spice a star is marking 2 decades in the world. And unlike the autumn days it celebrates, there seems to be no chill in customer demand. Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte goes on sale today in the U.S. and Canada. It's the coffee giant's most popular seasonal beverage, with hundreds of millions sold since its launch in 2003. Checking the roads, we do have a report. Westbound 44 west of Jefferson, the left-hand lane is blocked there by MoDOT trucks, so use caution if you're in that area.
I'm Tom Ackerman. The Cardinals have the day off today. Here's how they set up for the weekend at Philadelphia against the Phillies. Tomorrow night, a 6:05 start. Miles Michaelis will get that assignment. Saturday is a 6:15 night game, and Dakota Hudson is 5-0 on the season. He'll start against the Phillies. Sunday's game at 12:35 Central. Drew Rom is going to get another run. The lefty gave up 8 runs, 6 earned in his first major league start earlier this week. This report sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Swim next summer, AlohaPoolsUSA.com.
Excessive heat warnings remain in effect until tomorrow night. We could see real field temperatures reach 110 degrees this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. For today, sunny to partly cloudy, hot and humid as well. We will reach a high near 103. Clear to partly cloudy, warm tonight, an overnight low of 81. Right now, sunny skies, 94 degrees downtown at the Arch. It's 12:33.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
103 is just too hot. It's too hot to be outside. So sit inside. You've got your phone, maybe your laptop, your computer in front of you. Head on over to youridoc.com. youridoc.com, or give the Ophthalmology Associates a call at 314-966-5000. Today is a great day to knock out all that paperwork that you've been putting off, right? Because there's better things to do. Well, go ahead and make your appointment. Did you know your yearly eye exam is covered by most insurance plans? So no reason not to go in, see the doctors, make sure your eye health is good and your full body health is good. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranja Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer, well, they have treated more than 250 doctors. That's more than any other practice, because they are experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye: dry eye, allergy eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma. Your eyes are really a window into your health. And so maybe your dry eye is just seasonal allergies, or maybe it's something more. Again, the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000, youridoc.com.
Mizzou football is returning to St. Louis. Be there when the Tigers take on Memphis in the Mizzou to the Lou Classic. this September at the Dome, featuring pep rallies, tailgates, and fan activities. It's more than just a game in St. Louis. Show your Tiger pride and purchase your tickets today. The Mizzou to the Luke Classic, Saturday, September 23rd at the Dome at America's Center. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Spark St. Louis is the newest collaborative co-working office space located in the PwC Pennant Building at Ballpark Village. Spark supports local entrepreneurs and corporate professionals and features over 80 private offices, day pass options, monthly networking events, conference room, and special event amenities, while offering an innovative approach to city life where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within the neighborhood at Ballpark Village. Schedule your tour today by visiting Spark St. Louis online at spark-stl.com.
Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce new floor plans to Sutton Farms in Wentzville. The Parkside series of homes offers ranch and two-story plans starting from the mid-300s. Select from hundreds of pre-designed options to personalize your home, or choose full customization if there is something specific you're dreaming about. Loved for its spacious home sites, Sutton Farms offers a private rural setting with the added bonus of nearby shopping and dining on Wentzville Parkway. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
Missouri's largest Hyundai dealer is St. Charles Hyundai. And right now through the end of August, get $7,500 towards your lease of select Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6 vehicles. These all-electric vehicles are simply amazing. Plus, they've got new Santa Fe's in stock, $2,500 off MSRP, and no payments until November. St. Charles Hyundai, part of the St. Charles Automotive Group. Get more information online at stcharleshyundai.com. They make amazing happen.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning, and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show on Cardinals Radio, KMOX.
What was it, 103, 107? What was the heat index?
100 in a million. It was 100
million. I saw this is 3.5 hours away from here, about it's northeast from here in Illinois. There's a town called Morris. I just happened to see that their heat index yesterday was 124.
Ugh.
That's Arizona, man. That's awful. It's
so soupy and sweaty.
I cannot wait until Saturday when it's only 90 or whatever it's going to be.
I know,
like 88.
I think it is going to only be 90 and maybe a high of 80, 81 on Sunday.
Yeah.
Gonna be gorgeous.
It'll be really nice. And here's the this cannot be a thing that happens every summer. I know it gets hot every summer. This is stupid hot. What we're having right now is stupid hot. Okay. If this becomes a trend where we do this 115 heat index thing every single summer and it continues to get worse, I'm going to lose my mind.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think it goes in waves.
Right.
I think because I know the 30s had some really bad years, the 40s and the 50s. Maybe this is our the locusts. What is it with the locusts? Every 15 years. Maybe it's a locust.
I don't know if it's like that. I don't think the scientists believe it's like that. Overwhelmingly, they don't think it is. It's getting hotter and hotter globally. So I can't deal with this stuff, man. Don't care for it. Hey,
yeah.
Last night we talked about the debate, and I don't know what the actual numbers are. I don't know what the ratings were. We know that former President Trump, said today that 200 million people watched his interview with Tucker Carlson on Twitter. Last night, the number was 154 million. I think that means views, which means...
It does say views.
Views, if you see it for 2 seconds, that literally 2 seconds, that counts as a view. So right. I really doubt that 200 people watched the interview, but it dropped at the same time, maybe even a couple of minutes before the debate started in Milwaukee last night. Now, it's Tucker and whatever. I'm not a fan. I don't think Amy is either. I'm not sure. Here was a part, though, that really stuck out to me, which let me just play it for you. Okay, here is Tucker and at least part of Trump's answer. And really, the answer is not the important part of this. It's about the question.
It started with protests against you, massive protests, organized protests by the left, and then it moved to impeachment twice.
Right.
And now indictment. I mean, the next stage is violence. Are you worried that they're going to try and kill you? Why wouldn't they try and kill you? Honestly.
They're savage animals. They are people that are sick, really sick. You have great people in the Democrat Party. You have great people that are Democrats. Most of the people in our country are fantastic, and I'm representing everybody. I'm not just Republicans or conservatives. I represent everybody. I'm the president of everybody.
So, okay, my problem here, and I think it should be obvious to anybody, is to ask the question, are they trying to kill you? Are you worried they're trying to kill you? Why wouldn't they try to kill you? What is he talking about?
Who is they?
Who? I don't know. Anybody who protested? Because that's the way he started the question, was people who protested, and then it went to this, and the next step is violence, isn't it? And why wouldn't they try to kill you? My problem with this is he knows what he's doing. Of course, there are crazy people out there, and I'm sure there are crazy people in the country who would love to kill him, and there are crazy people who would love to kill Biden. We've already seen a crazy person try to kill Pelosi's husband. So there are people out there who are wackadoodles. We know that for a fact. But to make it sound like there's this concerted effort to now go kill President Trump, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous
so
to suggest it. And
irresponsible.
Absolutely irresponsible to do that. But he knows exactly what he's doing by saying that. But that is so stupid.
Fear and anger are huge. This was a interview that I think it was Trevor Noah was talking to Jerry Seinfeld on Comedians in Cars, and they were talking about apartheid and how a country could have apartheid into the 90s, as long as it was, as cruel as it was. And he basically said, if you get people scared enough and desperate enough, they'll do anything.
Right.
And so to play into people's fears and exploit their fears. And the thing is, the cable news machine with its fears about them, they're coming after you. It's like a drug where you need a bigger and bigger dose. To say that they're going to change this important policy, that's not enough anymore to get people riled up. They're at the point where, like a Tucker Carlson has to say, why wouldn't they try to kill you? What is he talking about, and who is they? And when Trump said, well, they're savage animals, is he talking about Democrats? Is he talking about people who vote Democrat?
He talking about
the
Department
FBI?
Yes.
The
is he talking
Department of
yes.
Justice?
That's what my question was.
By the way, run by Republicans for its entire existence, not a single Democratic director of the FBI, just as a side note.
Right. So that
Who's they?
Yeah, well, they is the easiest boogeyman you could possibly have.
And here
They, just say them, because it's nebulous. There's no face of it. And if it's nebulous like that, then the danger is everywhere. And if the danger is everywhere, we have to stay constantly vigilant and maybe take matters into our own hands.
Right.
That's what he's trying to do. And he knows exactly what he's up to.
Which is why Trump said, they're really, with these indictments, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you. And if this could happen to me, it could happen to anybody.
Well, here's Rudy Giuliani saying,
Do I what? Do you regret attaching your name to the former president? I am very, very honored to be involved in this case, because this case is a fight for our way of life. This indictment is a travesty. It's an attack on not just me, not just President Trump, not just the people in this indictment, some of whom I don't even know. This is an attack on the American people. If this could happen to me, who is probably the most prolific prosecutor, maybe in American history, and the most effective mayor for sure, it can happen to you.
okay, same language.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Your
and
way
this is
of-
Rudy Giuliani yesterday after getting his mugshot taken.
Your way of life. Okay, let me just tell you this. If Rudy Giuliani goes to jail, if he were to go to jail today, guess whose way of life will not be changed? Any of us. Our way of life will not be changed. What does he mean? They use these big phrases. Your way of life will be changed. American dreams will be dead. Everything you hold near and dear, they're going after it. They're not coming after me. They're coming after you. No, they're actually going after you, Donald Trump, because you were the president of the United States. You took classified documents. You didn't give them back. You hung on to them. You tried to hide them. You tried to destroy some of them. There's video of it. It's a very specific reason why we're going after you. It's like saying that John Hinckley Jr., listen, he went to prison and all he did was if he hadn't shot the president of the United States, he wouldn't have gone to prison. And if it can happen to him, it can happen to any of us. No, he shot the president of the United States, John Hinckley. And I bring that up because the New York Times said if he had shot anybody else, well, he shot the president. That's the deal. President Trump was the president. He took documents in the Mar-a-Lago case. He tried to manufacture votes in the Georgia case. It's very specific to his position and his actions.
Let's visit with Matt in St. Louis, who's calling us at 314-436-7900. Hi, Matt.
Hello, folks. Nice. And thank you for having me online. Real quick, though, when you said the reference to who is they, that's a great one, because for every potential scenario in my entire life, I get so sick of people say, well, they said it. Well, who's they?
It's a cop-out.
And then you uncover that. Yeah, it comes out. But I got to take, and I listen to you guys whenever I'm in St. Louis. I'm not in St. Louis all the time. I don't think, in my opinion, you guys are looking at this with the right lenses. Look, Trump is arrogant, egotistical, bombastic, whatever goofy word you want to use, but I loved his policies, and I think he was a great president. And yes, I think he had some missteps. What we're looking at here, and what you're, ma'am, I don't know your first name, I forgot, but you just said a second ago. Margaret, I apologize.
It's Amy. He's messing with you. He's messing with you.
And I'm Jim.
No, he's...
Okay, my name's actually President Trump, then. How about that?
Hey, whoa, hey! Where were you last night?
No, but,
Are you at the courthouse yet?
No. See, and that's the part I have a real problem with, is that we are truly in a very bad place right now as a country, and there's no doubt in my mind that President Biden is not the president of this country. He's just a representative of a cabal that's making all kinds of decisions that he's not involved with. We have weaponized, and that's an overused term, but it is true, the DOJ, and they're doing so many corrupt things. And I'm saying both sides of the aisle are so corrupt. And one of the things that Trump was 100% right about is, the swamp. It is a swamp. There's so many politicians that are making multi-millions of dollars doing nothing, not inventing anything, not creating a new service. But the problem is the DOJ and the office is being controlled by people that have agendas. And you cannot tell me with a straight face, and this goes with the they comment, that all these indictments against Trump weren't politically motivated, the timing of such.
Well, I can. Let me ask you this real quick because we're going to run out of time. I asked who is they, and you said that's a good question. Who's the cabal?
Okay, I'll tell you who the cabal is. You have a bunch of Marxist accountants that are working deep in the deep state.
No.
Oh, I think we lost him.
Something's going on there. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. All right, so yeah, I think that's conspiracy stuff. It's Q stuff. And we appreciate the phone call, Matt, but I just don't agree with you at all on any of that. I do agree there are people making millions of dollars, and maybe some of it is underhanded. I absolutely do not believe the Department of Justice and FBI are being weaponized. Yeah. I think that's what they're saying to you so that you feel bad for them, because in order to believe that, you have to believe that every single person in the Department of Justice and FBI are Democrats. And we know for a fact they absolutely are not.
And also, listen, I've questioned President Biden's faculties pretty openly, right? He's obviously dealing with cognitive decline to some degree. It's a very stressful job, but it's not a cabal. He's a Democrat. He's got progressive policies. Nothing he's done has seemed secretive. Yep. Everything he's done, Democrats have been open about. And in fact, a lot of the Democratic Party believes that he's not progressive enough. This is not secret cabal type action.
But it's easy to say that and rile people up, and because it works. It works. It works for somebody like Matt. And again, we appreciate the call. The weaponization stuff, they're playing you. They're playing you, and they're winning by doing it. It works for them.
And Mar-a-Lago,
it's working on you.
And just to go through, like you said, I can't say with a straight face any of those indictments are substantive. Oh yeah. Ask anybody in the military. Anybody, who knows even a little bit about classified documents, they'll tell you, wow, Trump got away with a lot. Anyone else would be in prison. If anything, if you think Trump is getting special treatment, he is. He's actually not in prison. He's getting better treatment because he was the former president of the United States.
That's just fact. That I don't understand how people don't see that. That if that were a regular citizen who had access to that stuff, they'd be in worse trouble, and they would have been in jail a long time ago.
Yes.
They absolutely gave deference to him. I guarantee you all these organizations would have absolutely preferred to not have to go down this path because of the crap storm that it creates. That's Amy. I'm Chris. This is KMOX.
Genesis of St. Charles signature event is here. They have exclusive savings available on select luxury vehicles. And if you are in the market for any luxury vehicle, do yourself a favor. Head on over to test drive a Genesis before you buy anything else. You heard Debbie Monterey talking about it this morning, and I agree with her. They're just such sleek looking vehicles. They are the epitome of luxury from the way they drive, the lines. They even have like aromatherapy features in the car itself. It really is the epitome of luxury. Everything that you can think of that would be comfort. And like I said, that high-end experience, that's Genesis. And right now, the luxury SUV GV70, well, you can get up to $1,500 in rebates. And that's in addition to other special offers that you may qualify for. So you can test drive a luxury vehicle. You can look at all the rebates and savings that you might qualify for, see where you can save some money. And you also have the benefit of shopping at Genesis of St. Charles, which is part of the St. Charles Automotive Group, along with St. Charles Hyundai and St. Charles Nissan. So it's one-stop shopping. Oh, and don't forget, they have in inventory the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, 250, 300 at any given time. A quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off Highway 70, Genesis of stcharles.com.
Hi, I'm Maria Kina, inviting you to join us for our annual KMOX blood drive in memory of Brett Bloom. Brett fought cancer in 2019. We asked you then to donate blood, and the response, it was overwhelming. We lost Brett, but there are so many people today, right now, who need your help. The KMOX blood drive in memory of Brett Bloom, Thursday, August 24th from 2 to 7 p.m. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or redcrossblood.org and use the sponsor code KMOX.
Manchester Coin & Jewelry is the estate buyers. They buy collectibles from vintage toy trains, musical instruments, military, and more. Located on Manchester Road west of 141. It's Manchester Coin & Jewelry.
Join us for a fantastical journey at St. Louis Union Station. Board the St. Louis Wheel, soaring 200 feet into the air all year round. The St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station lets you explore the world's great waterways and over 10,000 amazing creatures. Swing from the ropes course high over the aquarium and get lost in our mirror maze. It's all here at St. Louis Union Station, where the journey is like no other.
Plan your visit at stlouisunionstation.com. St. Louis Union Station. See where it takes you.
For a limited time, First Community is offering an 18-month certificate of deposit that pays 5% annual percentage yield and a 12-month certificate that pays 4.25% annual percentage yield. Unlike some high-risk investments, CDs are fully insured to keep your savings safe, and a return on your investment is guaranteed. Requires a $500 minimum deposit to open. Call 1-800-767-8880 for terms and conditions. Federally insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
It's football season at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, featuring the best pool in history. Stadium Square, 3 levels, 6 pools, and a 143-foot diagonal screen. Stadium Swim is America's favorite place to watch football. Touchdown! Unbelievable! Stadium Swim, located at Circa Resort and Casino. Book today at CircaLasVegas.com. That's CircaLasVegas.com.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem and they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
Together Credit Union is the official banking partner of St. Louis City SC, which means Together Credit Union is the only place to find the official City SC debit card, which comes with special perks. There's no cost for the City SC debit card, so don't wait and sign up today online at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
This is Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. YourEyeDoc.com, 314-966-5000.
RENNER. Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy, letting you know that my friends at Renner have been repairing and replacing garage doors in St. Louis for over 50 years. Residential and commercial. RENNER. Forward and back. Renner, the garage door company that does. RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up.
The greatest radio talk show host ever.
Chris Franchi, Amy Marks Kors on KMOX.
Hey, the Brett Bloom blood drive is happening today. A former teammate here who passed away from a blood cancer, and the American Red Cross and KMOX get together every year. There are multiple locations from 2 until 7 o'clock today where you can go and give blood. They are encouraging people to set up an appointment. redcrossblood.org. The sponsor code you want to type in is KMOX. 7 locations. My understanding, I don't know, there might be others, but Favaz's is one of them on the Hill. I believe they are completely booked up at this point, but there are others. You've got O'Fallon, Missouri, Collinsville, Imperial, Belleville, Washington, Chesterfield. So there are lots of places you can go and give blood. And this isn't the only day to do it, but in honor of Brett Bloom, this is a perfect day to do it. So redcrossblood.org. And also, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
At Chris Amy KMOX. And don't forget, you get to vote on which one of us throws out the first pitch at KMOX Day next Wednesday.
Hope you're there. You can meet us. Say hi.
I'm gonna be there, baby.
Well, I mean, you have to. We're doing the show from there.
Oh, dang. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, 1 o'clock happy hour coming up. Dave Glover's show will be in. Amy and I stick around for an hour here on KMOX.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your